Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here. Hope you're doing well. So the silver price is putting on some strong gains this morning. Silver spot has risen more than 3% in early trading. And it's looking like the precious metals bull market's not dead after all. After consolidating in recent weeks and falling to a key support level visible on this chart, looks like silver could be ready to begin its next move higher, the one that takes us to $35 and beyond. We'll talk about that in today's video, as well as how a collapsing US dollar index could lead to a blistering rally higher in the silver price. So let's get to it. Did you know SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins? Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. All right, so let's start off with this today. This is an article I published in my free e-newsletter. There's a link down in the description if you want to sign up for that, late last Thursday night. And this was titled, Why Silver Might Be Gearing Up for a Big Move. And in this article, I examined a variety of technical indicators which suggested that the silver price had reached a bottom around $30, and that we might be seeing some big moves in the silver spot price very soon. Well, today we got a confirmation that that was indeed the case. Looking at the silver chart here, you can see that in early trading, silver is up about 3.15%. Gold also rising today. Gold back above $2,600. The gold price up almost 2% today. And on this chart of the silver price, you'll see that I've drawn an upward trend line here that goes all the way back to the beginning of silver's current bull market, which began earlier this year in February, back when silver was around $22. And what we saw last week was a retest of this upward trend line, this strong support level. And today we are getting a strong silver rally. Now, I suspect that this may be the beginning of the next significant move higher in this silver bull market. You can see that it's been a volatile ride thus far, lots of ups and downs, and that is pretty much par for the course for the volatile silver market. But the good news is that that volatility works to the upside as well as to the downside. Now, today's rally, I think, at least in part, is driven by technical factors. Again, we outlined that last week in the newsletter. But there is something brewing which I think could really stoke a fire under the silver price here and lead to a rapid move up to new highs above $35. That would be the highest price level in over a decade. You can see here that the silver price topped out back at the end of October just shy of $35, and therefore I think that the next rally will take us above that level. And this factor that I think could drive silver to just an absolute blistering rally is a breakdown in the US dollar. Now, this is a chart of the US dollar index. It has been on a real rip since the election of Donald Trump, but it's looking like that rally is now beginning to get a little bit overdone. Now, the first thing I want to draw your attention to is this zone of resistance, which the dollar has butted up against several times over the past couple of years. And every time it does, it falls, and we're approaching this level right now. In fact, we're right at it. So that is one reason that I think we could see the dollar fall from here. And any decline, especially a sharp decline in the dollar index, will likely lead to significant moves higher in both gold and silver. Another factor we should examine here is the relative strength index, which you can see last week rose above 70. Now, when the RSI rises above 70, that is an indication that an asset has become overbought. It has become overvalued, and it is due for a correction. You'll notice several times on this chart in the past that peaks in the RSI correspond to peaks in the US dollar index, such as here in September of 2023, when the dollar topped out right at that resistance level. Or here in April of this year, when the US dollar index once again topped out at that zone of resistance, while the RSI simultaneously rose above 70. Or even just a few weeks ago in October, when the RSI rose above 70 and the dollar began to decline, only to take off following the news of Donald Trump's election. Now, I understand there may be some optimism warranted regarding the US economy due to a change of leadership, but we have to remember that the real picture here for the dollar remains pretty grim. And I think the biggest factor weighing on the US dollar here is the absolutely exploding US national debt. So we recently crossed the $36 trillion level in the US national debt, and we also witnessed an exploding US deficit in the most recent statement from the U.S. Treasury. Just last month in October, the deficit rose to an absolutely enormous $257 billion just in that 1 month. That is the second highest deficit level for October on record, second only to the absolutely enormous pandemic-fueled spending of October 2020. And at the end of the day, regardless of who is in the White House, it seems to me that one of the few things that both parties can agree on is the need to massively and inexorably expand the levels of borrowing and debt in Washington. Now, this debt ultimately will likely have to be monetized by the Federal Reserve to avoid skyrocketing interest rates and a runaway interest cost on the debt. Now, I know there's been a lot of talk recently about the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Honestly, the irony of creating a new government department to increase government efficiency, I hope it's not lost on all of you, nor is the fact that this department will be headed by not one, but two people, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Very efficient. Now, all joking aside, hopefully the new administration is able to rein in this debt crisis, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And therefore, I'm thinking that the US dollar index is looking ripe for a major decline, and now might be a good time to get some more hard assets like gold and silver bullion. If you want to see more videos about the gold and silver market and stacking hard assets, make sure you check out the video that's popping up on your screen now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Smart Silver Stacker out.